Hello everyone, I'm Alia Dibu. Welcome to my channel. Today I'm back with another book review, and this time it's special because I'm going to be reviewing the last book of the Harry Potter series, the seventh book, Harry Potter and the Deathly Hallows. It was written by J.K. Rowling and published by Bloomsbury, and it came out on 21st July 2007. So let's move on straight to the book review. Harry is about to turn 17 when the book starts, and when he does, he will lose his deceased mother's protection. And by that I mean, Harry had been protected by his mother because she sacrificed herself to try and make Lord Voldemort not kill Harry, and did not fight back. So her love gave a protection to Harry. That's why Harry defeated Voldemort when he was a baby. And when he's about to turn 17, that's not gonna work anymore. So the Order of the Phoenix has decided to relocate the Dursleys to somewhere more safe and take Harry with them to the Weasleys' place. And to do that, they took a lot of Harry's friends, like the Weasley twins, Bill and Fleur, Ron and Hermione, everyone, and they took some Polyjuice potion to turn themselves into Harry and putting themselves at risk because the Death Eaters are, of course, after Harry now. So they decided to take like multiple different ways of transportation. Some use broomsticks, some use thestrals, and each of them have one person with them to, like protect, I guess. One Harry and one protector, I guess. It was like that. And then the Death Eaters arrive and a big battle plays out. And while that's happening, Mad Eye Moody and Hedwig sadly end up dying, and George Weasley gets wounded and he like gets hurt in his ear. But eventually, Harry and the rest of the people who survive make it to the burrow, or the Weasley's home. Point, while the battle was happening, Harry got attacked by Voldemort, but Harry's wand just fought Voldemort on its own and like fended him off. The trio, aka Harry, Ron, and Hermione, are getting ready to take the rest of the Horcruxes and destroy them, so like they can kill Voldemort. And Bill and Fleur's wedding is going to happen, and everyone is joining there. And while it's happening, the Death Eaters attack. They take over the Ministry of Magic and they attack their wedding. And Ron and Hermione, they all apparate. Ron, Hermione, Harry, they all apparate to Sirius's place where they can find some sort of shelter. And Dumbledore died in the sixth book somewhere here, sixth book if you guys remember. And in his will, he had left something to each of the trios. To Harry, he left the golden snitch he first got, and to Ron, he left his Deluminator, and to Hermione, he left the Beetle of the Bard book. Remote Place 12, they realized that Sirius's late brother Regulus had taken the real Horcrux, the pendant Horcrux, and hid it somewhere in the house. But then later, Mundungus Fletcher, like he was like a black market seller or something, took the locket, and then the ministry happened to pass by, and by the ministry I mean there was an inspection going on, and Umbridge happened to pass by. She took the locket, and the trio were like, no, what do we do now? So they infiltrated the ministry using the Polyjuice potion, and they steal the locket. They successfully steal the locket. That's the most surprising part. And Grimmauld Place is compromised as they escape, so they have to hide in the forest, and they're not able to destroy the locket because of its dark power. And soon Ron gets affected by the locket's dark powers and abandons the group. Then Harry and Hermione go to Harry's birthplace, and there they find Nagini, who was disguised as Matilda Bagshot, who I believe was the author of some of Hogwarts books, like textbooks. And they all escape, but Harry's wand is damaged, and now he can't do anything with it. And then when they go back to the forest, near this river, a doe Patronus appears, and it leads Harry to the river, and there he finds the sword of Gryffindor, which Dumbledore had left to Harry, but the Ministry didn't give it to him because Dumbledore technically didn't own it. And while trying to take the sword, he nearly dies because of the locket that was on his neck. And then Ron finally, understands because he's away from the dark power and uses the Deluminator to find Harry and save him. And he uses the sword of Gryffindor to destroy the locket, and then they destroy another one of Voldemort's Horcruxes. In the book that was left to her by Dumbledore, Hermione discovers a symbol that was worn by the Lovegoods, and they go to meet Xenophilius Lovegood, who is Luna's dad, and he tells them about the story of the Deathly Hallows, the Elder Wand, which is the most unbeatable wand, the Resurrection Stone, which can bring back people from the dead, and the Invisibility Cloak, which of course we know can make people invisible who wear it. And then the trio notices that Xenophilius is acting weird, and they realize that Luna was taken away by the Death Eaters, and in change of her freedom, Xenophilius is trying to get the Death Eaters, get to Harry, I guess. But the trio escapes, and Harry figures out that Voldemort is after the Elder Wand, and that he has the Resurrection Stone, which is inside the snitch, and he also has his invisibility cloak. The trio gets taken to Malfoy Manor, and there Hermione is tortured by Bellatrix, A, because she's a mudblood, and B, because Bellatrix believes that Hermione and the rest of the trio stole the sword of Godric Gryffindor from the Gringotts vault, and with the help of Dobby, the house help, the trio and some other prisoners, like the goblin we met in the first book, he was part of Gringotts. What was his name? Griphook. Yeah, and they escape with him, and they go to Bill and Flora's cottage. There, while escaping, Dobby is killed by Bellatrix, and they build this really cute grave for him. It's not cute, but it's really sad. It's a stone, and it says, "Here lies Dobby, a free elf." I think it's written like that. I don't really remember. Anyways, with Griphook's help, they get into Gringotts and into Bellatrix's vault. From there, they steal the Hufflepuff cup. Like there's, I don't know how to explain it, and apparently it was also a Horcrux. And then, as we all know from book number 6, I believe, Harry and Voldemort have connected minds. So through Harry's mind, Voldemort found out that they were looking for Horcruxes and defeating them. And through Voldemort's mind, Harry discovered the rest of the Horcruxes, which were Nagini and another one at Hogwarts, but they don't know which one it is. And with Aberforth's help, Aberforth is Dumbledore's brother, the trio makes it to Hogwarts, and there their location is found by Voldemort, and Voldemort wages war on Hogwarts. The students and the teachers are all doing the best they can to protect, and while doing that, Hermione and Ron go to the Chamber of Secrets and take a basilisk fang and destroys the cup of Hufflepuff, and they find that another one of the Horcruxes, which was the Diadem of Ravenclaw, they found it in the Room of Requirement, and before they destroy it, they're stopped by Draco and Crabbe Goyle, and they stop Harry, and Crabbe uses like this magical fire, but he wasn't able to control it, so eventually the entire Room of Requirement burns and Crabbe dies, and then Harry and the rest of the trio saves Ron and the rest of them, and the Diadem is defeated in the fire, and now there's only one Horcrux, or so they believe. And because of the war, many people died, including Remus, Tonks, and Fred Weasley. And Voldemort, believing that Snape was like a loyal servant to him, killed Snape after he killed Dumbledore, but in this book, whatever. And there, Harry finds Snape as he's dying, and he gives Harry his memories to see them in the pensive. And there they find that Snape was not actually a loyal servant to Voldemort, but a double agent, and that he was actually giving information to Dumbledore. And there they also find that Snape had loved his mother forever and was watching over Harry. Like, I guess when you love someone or something, your patronuses are the same, because I guess when you love someone, they're the source of your happiness. And using his patronus, he had led Harry to the sword of Gryffindor. And there they also find that Harry is a Horcrux, and that he has to die at the hands of um, Voldemort to make Voldemort mortal. Harry realizes what he has to do, and therefore tells Neville to take the sword of Gryffindor and kill Nagini. And then he leaves to the Forbidden Forest, and then he goes to the forest, and while doing that, he takes out the snitch that he had gotten from Dumbledore, and he finds the Resurrection Stone and uses it to see his parents and everyone else who died just before he joins them, I guess. And he goes to Voldemort, and Voldemort uses the killing curse on him, and he's dead. But when he wakes up, he's in like this dreamlike world of the train station, and he's like next to platform 9 3/4, and there he finds this weird looking burnt baby child. I don't know what that is. And then Dumbledore arrives, and he asked, is this all in my head? And then Dumbledore said something weird like, of course it is, or I forgot. Anyways, Harry wakes back up, and then Draco's mother, remember now, it was Narcissa, and she goes to check if Harry's alive on the command of the Dark Lord, and she asks Harry, is Draco alive? And when he nods, he says, the boy's dead. And Hagrid is made to carry Harry to Hogwarts, and everyone's super upset. Neville kills Nagini, Harry comes back to life, the war goes back on. And while it's happening, Molly kills Bellatrix, yes! And then Harry and Voldemort are now facing each other. Harry explains that the Elder Wand was not going in Voldemort's command, because the wand follows whoever disarms or kills their first master. And he believed that Dumbledore, because he had the Elder Wand first, when he was killed by Snape was the one who was commanding the Elder Wand. That's why he killed Snape. But then he realizes that Draco had disarmed Dumbledore before that. And then when Harry disarmed Draco, the wand now is under his command, I guess. And then Voldemort is furious and is trying to kill Harry. And then when he does that, the killing curse is deflected because of Harry's Expelliarmus curse, and Voldemort is now dead. Yay. Finally. I've been waiting 7 books for this moment. Well, 6. This is the 7th book. And everyone's happy now, except for the Weasley family. I mean, they lost a kid. And me, I liked Fred a lot, and Remus and Tonks, and now their kid has to grow up. Teddy Lupin, I think, has to grow up without his parents like Harry, but Harry's his godfather, so I guess there's that. And then there's also an epilogue, which is like 19 years later, I think. Harry marries Ginny, Ron is married to Hermione, and their kids are going to Hogwarts. There they find, and one of the kids, I think his name was Albert. I forgot if it's the youngest or the middle child or something. Whatever. Asks Harry, what if I'm in a Slytherin? And there he says Albert Severus Potter, something like that was his name. He said, you're named after the 2 bravest headmasters of Hogwarts. Blah blah blah. It's okay if you're in Slytherin, and even if you are going to be, the hat listens to you, because that's what happened to Harry. And then we see the clip ending with all ends well. Not the clip, the page ending with all ends well. Yay. Finally, the book series is over. I don't know whether I should be happy or sad, but whatever. Now I can finally do something different than Harry Potter. To be honest, I was getting kind of bored. Anyways, if you guys like this book review, make sure to like and subscribe. If you're already subscribed, thank you so much for supporting me. Bye!